A Davidson School student is in a hospital after having a reaction to a THC vape pen at school. The sheriff's office learned 3 Central Davidson Middle School students shared the vape pen. The school resource officer, James Williams, said one had it. He says he hopes students learn from this incident moving forward.
Don't take anything you don't know what it is. You don't need to be taking vapes. You don't need to be taking any other types of drugs. You just don't know. They don't know what they're putting in their bodies. And as I always say, just say no.
The student who brought the THC vape faces charges. A juvenile petition has been filed. However, the sheriff's office says it's trying to figure out how this student even got the pen. School districts are trying to combat the use of vapes in school. Guilford County Schools is installing these devices this spring. Other districts like Rockingham County have had the detectors for years. WFMY News 2's Nixon Norman found out how they work.
That's right, Sydney. Vape detectors look almost identical to the smoke detector you have in your home, but the purpose behind them is much different. School districts across the state have installed these devices in school bathrooms to try to cut down on vaping, and they're seeing the positive impacts.
Vaping in school bathrooms is mostly a thing of the past in Rockingham County schools.
We still do catch folks every once in a while trying to experiment in our schools. However, we have seen those numbers significantly decrease.
Every middle and high school has multiple vape detectors. They've had them installed for about 3 years. But what do they actually do? They have the ability to detect small particles that are released when someone vapes, whether it's tobacco or THC, and alert school administrators. School leaders say these devices can even sense when someone's trying to cover up vaping with some sort of spray.
People try to mask a vape detector using either Axe spray or any type of perfume or cologne or anything like that. It will sense or detect that, especially the newer models.
Director of Safety Sean Gladio says kids experimenting with vapes are getting younger and younger. That's why they've started talking about putting the devices in elementary schools.
If we feel it's in the best interest of our students to install those in our elementary schools, we will search for the funding and make that happen in Rockingham County Schools.
Gladio says these detectors are not used to get students in trouble, but to protect them from the harm vaping can cause, leading the way for triad school districts in an effort to keep kids safe.
Gladio warns students looking to vape that you're always taking a risk. 1, because you have no idea what could be in the vape liquid, and 2, because you never know how it might affect you.
Nixon, thank you. Randolph County deputies are investigating after a student brought a gun to school. The SRO at Eastern Randolph High School got a tip that a student was on campus with a gun this morning. The officers searched the student and found the gun, which was not loaded. No one was hurt.
For the first time, the Greensboro Police Chief is responding to the domestic situation that occurred at the city manager's house back in December. You'll remember police responded to the home of Taiwo Jayoba after 911 calls made it sound like there was some sort of fight between him and his adult daughters. In a statement today, Chief John Thompson gave a detailed timeline of what happened once officers showed up. He said Jayoba called him immediately afterward, so the chief reached out to responding officers to have them de-escalate the situation. Thompson insisted at no time did the city manager ask GPD to treat him any differently during the investigation. The chief also shared how investigators brought their findings to the district attorney, who determined no charges should be filed. The city says Jayoba was the only person who had visible injuries. At this point, we still don't know exactly what happened that night or what caused it. Earlier this week, a judge granted a city council request to allow them to view the body camera footage from the incident. Every council member we spoke with said this was simply a family matter. On Monday, a judge will decide whether the footage will be released to the public.